failed to report proper income information on SNAP documents. Now, Dennis and Jennifer Phillips arrested in connection to fraudulently receiving more than $20,000 worth of those benefits. Now, SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Law enforcement officials say they failed to report the wife's income for several years, leading to the issues of benefits they were not supposed to receive.
When people think of food stamp fraud, they don't think of faces like this. Married couple facing food stamp fraud charges for reportedly falsifying income to obtain more than $20,000 in SNAP benefits. $20,000. However, racial pathology, though, allows for black people, especially black women, to be seen as welfare queens that's trying to get over on the system and always conducting food stamp fraud, while individuals like this are able to be not suspected, therefore they go undetected, therefore they go unpunished. They was able to get away with this for years.
Now, what in the caucasity is going on here? So this couple has been arrested because they were defrauding the SNAP benefits program. So what they did is they got $20,000 worth of cash assistance and food assistance because they were falsifying their work documents and how much they made in the household. And what's crazy is they want people to believe that it is the black, brown, and illegal immigrants that are, you know what I'm saying, getting all of these benefits, when in actuality it is and they are the ones that are saying that we need it. I'm talking about rural America. Rural America are the ones that have more SNAP benefits or beneficiaries than any other person. If you look on the statistics and in the records, guess what? They have 47%. 47%, and they'll say that we have 49. But guess what? When they say the 49, when you look at the numbers, there may be 500,000, but there are over 1.2 million of them that are receiving the benefits. So that's how they, you know what I'm saying, play with the numbers. But
look in here. Now, none of them people just saying it's me. Oh, and let's not forget Brett Favre, the old Green Bay Packer, right? Let's not forget the fraud that Brett Favre committed. But it's illegals. It's illegals and you Negroes that's doing that. You ninjas. Y'all going around here committing food stamp fraud, and they giving food stamps to illegal immigrants and and they are doing blah, 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 and they're committing fraud. What are these people? What is Brett Favre? No, really, I want an answer on that. I'll wait. $20 million. Brett Favre.
I just wanted to post this because I had posted about food stamps earlier this week, and this dumb bitch broad came in my comment section talking about, well, I only hear black people talking about it. Okay, we're talking about it because systematically, meaning within the system, at B, yes, sounds me, you guys have been made to believe that only us Negroes, us black folk, are the highest recipients receiving food stamps. Married couple facing food stamp fraud charges for reportedly falsifying income and obtaining more than $20,000 in SNAP benefits. This is what they do. This is what they do, and I'm putting them on blast and putting them on Front Street because they will make you believe that it is us when in truly it is them. You see, up until 1964, black people weren't even able to receive food stamps. They were only able and available for white folk until the Food Stamp Act of 1964 kicked into place. They will always make it seem like we the ones who snatching up or using up all government funds, that we're taking advantage of government programming or terminology. When people made up lies, because you guys don't read, you guys don't keep up on things, you guys don't do anything but talk shit about us and make everything about us. But when in actuality, when it really is truly y'all. Did y'all hear about the lady from MAGA who is mad at her family for not giving out money to help her get groceries after the government cut off her food stamp benefits? Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more than that. If you voted for your own downfall, God forbid you need help. God forbid it.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joe Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. A white MAGA couple has been arrested for food stamp fraud, shattering the long-standing stereotype that welfare is primarily used by Black Americans. In reality, white Americans make up the largest share of SNAP recipients, nearly 40% of all households, while Black households account for about 25%. This case highlights a simple truth. The safety net isn't a Black issue. It's used by millions across every racial and political line, and sometimes people take advantage of it regardless of who they are. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. All their arts will be found in my description box. But for now, let me play you a few more clips and I'll be back with more commentary.
For a lot of you folk that was on TikTok, stereotyping what y'all think is the average person getting government assistance. Or saying, oh, maybe the ladies lead, ladies this and the women, and maybe this can get love. This is a whole married couple. Now, if you want to see the full video, I did repost it. But a married couple facing food stamp fraud charges for reportedly falsifying income to obtain more than $20,000 in SNAP benefits. But this not people that y'all want to stereotype. This not the two y'all think. Y'all don't normally say, oh, okay, this is what we look at. No. This right here. When y'all want to stereotype or assume who's living off of government benefits, you think of like my face. I pay a whole mortgage, but y'all still think of my face. I get little insults in my comments. Ignorant. That's why they're blocked. Because they assume. Because of this on my face, because of this color, they assume. But yet, these don't look like me. And yes, it was a newscast. That's why I said make sure y'all watch the reposted video.
For decades, American media and politics have pushed a narrative suggesting that welfare abuse is a problem mostly among Black communities. The so-called welfare queen stereotype, born in the late 20th century, became a cornerstone of political messaging, used to justify caste social programs and to stoke fear of dependency. But the data tells a very different story. White Americans are the largest group of SNAP recipients, and rural, predominantly white counties have some of the highest rates of food assistance usage in the country. The arrest of this couple comes at a particularly revealing time. During recent SNAP benefit cuts, white Americans, especially in rural and conservative regions, were among the loudest voices online complaining about lost benefits. Social media posts showed widespread frustration from predominantly white households, highlighting a reality that rarely fits the racialized stereotype of welfare. The myth of welfare as a Black problem was further exposed as this community made it clear they rely on the safety net just as much, if not more. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, SNAP data shows that about 36 to 40% of beneficiaries are white, 25% are Black, and the remainder are Hispanic, Asian, or multiracial. This means that millions of Americans who are white rely on food assistance every month, yet public perception continues to cast welfare as a minority issue. That perception shapes policies that affect everyone, often making it harder for those who genuinely need help to get it. The case of this couple also shows that fraud and exploitation of the system are not limited to any one group. Allegations suggest the pair falsified income information to qualify for benefits, highlighting that anyone can find ways to game the system. While SNAP fraud is rare, government audits consistently show fraud rates around just 1%. The perception of abuse is often racialized. Cases like these disrupt that perception, forcing the public to confront the truth. Welfare misuse is not confined to any race, class, or political identity. This story also exposes a deeper irony in American politics. Politicians and media have long demonized minority welfare recipients, yet the policies they promote to cut aid disproportionately harm the same white families who vote for them, and in some cases, are themselves reliant on the system. The political messaging that has fueled resentment against others on welfare often overlooks the fact that the majority of beneficiaries are white, people who, during the recent snapcuts, were among the most vocal online in protest. This disconnection raises uncomfortable questions. Why is welfare so often portrayed as a problem for Black Americans when the largest group of recipients is white? Why are stories of white Americans benefiting from or misusing aid treated as rare exceptions, while similar behavior among Black or brown recipients is treated as systemic evidence of dependency? The answers lie in long-standing racial narratives that have shaped policy, media coverage, and public opinion for decades. The SNAP program itself tells a story of necessity, not race.
The Brett Favre scandal involves his alleged involvement in the Mississippi welfare fraud, a large-scale scheme that delivered millions of dollars from a federal program for the poor. The allegations against him include using welfare funds to help build a volleyball stadium at the University of Southern Mississippi and seeking funds to other projects like a concussion drug company. Favre denies wrongdoing, saying he was unaware the funds were intended for welfare recipients and believed he was helping his alma mater raise money. Bullshit.
Millions of working-class Americans, regardless of color, rely on food assistance to make ends meet, from single parents to rural families hit by economic downturns. The program acts as a lifeline, yet the national conversation rarely reflects this reality. When fraud does occur, as in the case of this couple, it is easy for some to treat it as an anomaly, while ignoring the broader truth. Welfare is a virtual program used widely by people of every race. The irony in this case also underscores a larger cultural pattern. Many who publicly oppose welfare policies may still depend on the very programs they criticize. The couple's story serves as a vivid example of this tension. People who claim to support small government or criticize dependency sometimes end up benefiting from government aid. It is a reminder that poverty and need do not follow simple partisan or racial lines. Public reaction to the arrest has been revealing as well. Online discussions show that the story struck a chord precisely because it challenges preconceived notions. Some viewers expressed shock, not at the crime itself, but that it involved a white, politically conservative couple, the very people often imagined as the taxpayers opposed to welfare programs. The conversation quickly expanded into broader discussions about who actually relies on social safety nets in America, who gets vilified, and why. At its core, the case is about much more than one couple. It highlights systemic misunderstandings, racialized myths, and selective outrage. American society has been conditioned to see welfare through a racial lens, obscuring the reality that millions of white Americans rely on programs like SNAP. The recent SNAP cuts, the loud complaints online from white households, and cases of fraud all point to a simple fact. Welfare is not a Black problem. It is an American one. As the story continues to unfold, it invites deeper reflection on public perception, media narratives, and policy priorities. How much of the outrage over welfare is grounded in fact, and how much is driven by racialized stereotypes? How many Americans are missing the full picture of who benefits from social programs, and what might change if society began to confront the truth that government assistance supports people of every race, including those who have historically been imagined as its opponents? Ultimately, this arrest serves as a wake-up call. Beyond politics, beyond stereotypes, beyond selective outrage, the reality is clear. Welfare is a lifeline used by millions of Americans, and anyone, regardless of race or political affiliation, can both rely on it and, in rare cases, exploit it. The conversation should shift from myth to reality, from stereotype to fact, and from blame to understanding the true role of social safety nets in American life.
Dennis and Jennifer Phillips arrested in connection to fraudulently receiving more than $20,000 worth of those benefits.
So what do you all think? Why does the welfare fraud narrative still focus on Black Americans despite the data showing otherwise? And how did the recent snapcuts reveal the reality of who actually relies on the program? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video specifically tailored for you. And if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel and helps you to recommend this video to a wider audience. Lastly, kindly consider joining my channel and I would really appreciate it. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, the Joy Report out.